Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the
Our Sour Hour podcast show. Ooh. Oh, you're such a classic maniac.
Oh my god, are we recording?
Oh my god.
How embarrassing for us.
Well, sorry guys, we didn't see you there.
Guess who's back?
It's me.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Our Sour Hour podcast show. Our Sour Hour, the hour where we bring back Vasíl. Give him a round of applause. Not really, don't do that.
Yeah, man, go get him. By the way, please stop calling me Vasíl. Do you know why? Because in my job, for the people who don't know, I work at a hentai studio. I'm really proud to say that, and we draw porn and stuff, and it's a French studio for one of the biggest, hentai games on Otaku.
Are you allowed to say the name?
I'm not sure. For legal reasons, I'm not sure, but it shouldn't be.
It's kind of free advertisement. I think it's okay.
But I'm gonna refrain from saying it. But I just have it really sucks because Vasíl. Goddamn, for the second time we're talking about names and stuff like that.
Yeah.
How my name is a bit fucked.
It's kind of a thing now.
That's okay. So the reason why I don't want to be called Vasíl is because Vasíl, you say Vasíl when you want to scold me.
I say Vasíl.
Yeah, it's
a bit of Mexican in there.
Yeah, it's it makes me jump. It makes me jump, I get startled because when you're young and your mom is about to beat your ass.
It's basically the European equivalent of your mom using your three names, like in America, like John Winston Pennywise. You come here.
Yeah, right.
We just use the first name, but like without pet names. So it's gonna be Vasíl. You know when you're in trouble.
And my boss, the art director, because I work as an artist. Whenever he refers to me, he finds it really funny to say Vasíl in the same way, and every time, because I'm new, this is my first job ever, and because I'm new, I get really jumpy really fast because I'm like, oh my god, this is it, I'm getting fired. He's using my full name, I fucked up, and I'm gonna get it right now.
And a good run. So okay, what would you prefer, like, that we call you?
Vaku, because that's my alias, internet alias. So full name is Vaku Draus, but that's.
Joining us today is the one, the only Vaku.
Yeah. Sounds now when you say it like that, sounds really anticlimactic. I don't really like it. But fuck it, I think it works. Because my boss sometimes calls me Vaku. From out of nowhere, and I'm like, oh yeah, I like your ring.
He has seen your Instagram, like he knows of you from social media.
Yeah, but still, he calls me Vasíl most of the time. But when he goes like, Vaku, can you please come here? And I'm like, oh yeah, okay, yeah. Now
I'm getting promoted, baby.
Yeah, I'm getting promoted. I'm gonna be a CEO soon. But basically, yeah. Sorry for my absence last time. It wasn't last week.
I think we did a terrific job filling that absence.
I can't wait, actually. We're kind of discussing about having the podcast next time be with all four of us, but it's only in the making, so...
We think it will be really chaotic, so why don't you chime in the comments below, give us like a... That's a good idea, or that's a absolutely shit idea. Give us a thumbs up, thumbs down, let us know. Interact with us, make us more famous, buy our merch.
Yeah, it's kind of like, this is the third episode, I think, and I think we should be...
It's about time we get paid, son.
Yeah, it's about time we become really famous. By the way, a bit of change since last time. Right before, I think a day or two after we recorded a podcast, we were joking about the name of H3's child, and we were joking about how we want him to waste his child. That was the joke, by naming him Vasíl, ruining his life. And actually 2 days after that,
they made a big announcement. Yeah, they gave him like a really old man's name, if I remember correctly. Like, do you know what it was?
I forgot what it is. Like Ezekiel?
Nah, that was... It was real Jewish, but like it worked in America. I'm gonna pull it up right now, so keep talking about it.
Ezekiel sounds pretty Jewish to me. Not that I would know. one of my colleagues, she's a Jew, and she's really cool because she likes to joke a lot about, her Jewish heritage, and she's really open to jokes and anti-Semitism and stuff like that. Of course, not crossing any borders or stuff like that. But overall, all of the Jewish jokes that get tossed around in the office pretty much all come from her. And she's the initiator. So props to her, man. I love people who can laugh, at their own fucking misery and shit.
Okay, it's actually pretty adorable. His name is Theodore, or Teddy for short.
Oh, Theodore.
So he's real fresh.
I don't know, Theodore is a cool name, but it's forever ruined for me, at least because of Alvin and the Chipmunks. Theodore is
He was like the biggest bitch of the three, right? Like the one with the glasses you just wanted to punch.
Yeah, I think that was him.
Oh, no, Theodore was the small one, like the smallest one with the highest voice.
Well,
it was like the most childish one.
Well, he was my favorite,
Probably.
so I wouldn't have that name be ruined for me. Well, actually, I would have, because, it's Alvin and the Chipmunks, they're fucking weird.
It's kind of hard to say Theodore without going like a real thick British accent, like Theodore, come to me, my lad.
Thickador. Thickador, any door.
Okay, so after about, let's say, 6 minutes of bullshit, gotta make a quick clarification. Today's format is gonna be a little different because we haven't seen each other, me and Vaco, in a long time. So we want to do a bit of catching up. We don't want to waste our energy on random words, so we're just gonna discuss some...
Sorry, I'm interrupting, but I gotta put on some pants. I really feel... I find myself just squeezing my dick out of pure habit.
Yeah, and
then I'm like,
and I kind of get jealous, and I want to squeeze it too, so you can understand where all this is coming from.
I don't feel comfortable for you.
Okay, I'm gonna fill in that with some explanation. So we need to catch up, and what we've done is we've handpicked a bunch of Yahoo questions. It's a bit more this time, and we're gonna reminisce. A little bit. We're gonna give our honest answers. We're gonna bullshit a whole lot, don't worry, like you're not losing any of that. But it's kind of like when we use the random word generator, it like really puts a lot of bounds around the conversation, and we don't really want that right now. We want a little bit more chilled out episode.
Yeah, we're recording this. I'm back, by the way. We're recording this at like 2 a.m. So we're kind of not really
smart
right now.
Ever.
Yeah, you should see us in the morning, man. We're scientists.
We're doing equations, like building shit.
Of course.
We're smart as fuck, boy.
So, one of the things we would do on this episode is we were gonna lie to you guys that we were gonna act as if we got any emails with questions and shit. And
to be honest, I got like a confirmation email from Google, so that means like they know about us. They maybe care about a partnership. But they're playing hardball. So why don't you just send an email or two? Come on, give us some queries to fix.
I think the problem is that nobody sends emails anymore. I mean, they send emails, but usually people who send emails are companies that try to refer you or something like that, or it's something really official. Nobody just sends an email so he can talk to you.
If only there was a place where you can type out a short little text in a way that the creators will see it after you post it.
Wow, I think there is.
Is there?
Yeah, on MySpace.
Damn. You heard it here first.
You can post
so okay, leave a goddamn comment if you can't be fucked to send an email, but interact with us. There's 30 views on our very first episode, and I can guarantee that
at
only 20 of them are ours. So some people watch this shit, some people listen to it, they put it on and they jerk off while it runs in the background. I can work with that, but give me something back. I wanna see what you're up to. I wanna interact with you. I wanna be part of your life.
Yes, give back.
I wanna look at you.
Give back, please, to us, since we are giving so much to you in terms of fucking quality entertainment.
This is basically free quality
Yeah,
ass.
how dare you not
Funny.
appreciate it?
We're hilarious. We're making you laugh. Like, bam, jokes. Bam, like,
One after
penis.
another. Penis, man. Don't, please. They gotta catch their breath. They can't laugh that
More like
much.
they gotta catch their penis.
Wow.
Ha! Got him. Okay, so on to the first question of the night.
From Yahoo, of course, because those are the best questions and answers.
Are we gonna give him like a fake name, or we just gonna jump right into the question?
I'm pretty sure nobody fucking uses their real names here. I mean, one guy is named F, you know?
Yeah, okay, fair point.
Okay. So first question is, we have a couple of them loaded, but I think this is an okay question to start with. The question is, how would you react if your 18-year-old daughter got a tattoo? Okay, so
Fuck me. Okay, so
who goes first then?
I gonna go with the pussy answer and say it really depends.
Wow.
For example, how big is the tattoo? Where is the tattoo? How do I find out about the tattoo? Because if she walks up to me like, Dad, I'm thinking about doing this, like, I like this type of art, I've contacted a very talented tattoo person, he's worked out a very reasonable price, I'm really sure about this, like, fuck it, knock yourself out, if it's not some stupid shit, but like, if you go and do it just for the sake of doing it, just so you can, like, rebel and be different, you're not different because, like, 70% of people are doing it. If it's not something meaningful, if it's not something cool looking, why even bother? Like, why be some of those basic-ass bitches that put, like, 2 words in squiggly cursive on their wrist, and they're like, I'm so special, this really commemorates the time I went to the beach with my friend and got sand in my ass. Like, why do that? You have a functioning memory for like 90% of your life, and even then your skin will get really saggy and you won't remember it anyway. Do something cool or do nothing at all, and be honest about it. Be a decent human being.
Well,
like, that's my side of the deal.
First of all, there's this thing, like, who the fuck rebels like this? I mean, who the fuck rebels with getting a tattoo? I know it's, that's how it usually happens, but tattoos are fucking expensive. Who goes like, I'm gonna spend like $50 to $100 for 2 words? What kind of a rebellion is that? That's just bad. That's just bad money management. It's like, okay, like I want to rebel, but I'm not fucking retarded, you know. I'm not gonna spend $100 for a tattoo. I'm gonna rebel by.
I'm gonna shave my head, like beat up some minorities. Why would I spend money?
Yeah, Jesus. It's like even if so, like I'm gonna rebel by, spending $100 for a like 2-word tattoo. When with $100 I can pretty much travel fairly far away from my home, with $100.
Yeah, fair enough.
Be it on hitchhiking stuff and stuff like that. But and I think that would send a bigger message to whoever you're trying to rebel, probably your parents, right? So I don't think that putting a tattoo on your body which costs $100 is gonna prove your point in anytime soon. Even less, I think they're not gonna be mad that you have like 2 little words on your body that mean jack shit. They're gonna be mad you spent $100 fucking in the most fucking stupid way to rebel against them. Because I know if my kid ever did that, I would be mad about the money. I don't care.
I just make fun of him. Like, he doesn't deserve that kind.
I
would make his life a living hell, but like in a fun for me way. Cause I don't want to yell at my kid. I love my kid probably.
Yeah, I just wanna destroy his self-esteem.
Okay, but consider the following. By it's a way to rebel, I mean it's like the suburban way to rebel. Cause most of these kids are basically pussies. They wouldn't go and travel on their own. They wouldn't do something actually rebellious, like go out, fuck a stranger, join a hippie like congregation or something.
I don't think anybody would join a hippie congregation.
Well, it depends. Some can be very persuasive.
People have more self-respect for themselves nowadays. Come on.
I think it's just like, because it's a permanent thing. Parents are a big percentage of parents are strictly against that, and the fact that it's so forbidden makes it like, okay, if I want to go against my parents, I gotta do this.
Yeah, it
doesn't matter if I actually care about it.
Actually, that's the thing. Yeah, I think. Yeah, you're right. It comes from the parents because if getting a tattoo wasn't a big deal, people wouldn't be getting them tattoos to shock their parents. So yeah, it's actually from the parents coming.
In recent times, actually, tattoos aren't such a big deal, and as a result, like there have been a lot more stupid tattoos, but people never really consider them that big a deal now. But like grown, mature people, parents
It's actually kind of cool. You know, when I get a child, I would want him, I would just constantly talk to him about how I want him to become a failure in life and how I want him to be a homeless person just like
He's gonna be like, fuck you, I'm gonna become a lawyer.
Yeah, fuck you, I'm gonna become a millionaire, Dad. Fuck you. And then, he's gonna leave me to die and not give me any money, but I would be happy knowing that my child is doing great in life. He never had the love of his father, but he has $1 million. So, it's
I would say that's righteous, but it's also kind of cruel.
Yeah, it's cruel, but
yeah.
Life is cruel, man. Life is cruel. But let's read some of the answers that are here because I'm kind of interested to see what other people.
I'd like to ask you something first. Have you ever considered getting a tattoo, and of what would you, if you would even do it?
Actually, I really want a tattoo, but quite honestly, I don't think I have the balls to actually sit through a tattoo. I think that I am too pussy for the pain. But I'm not sure.
I think it's a long process, actually. I'm not really familiar.
Depends on how big the tattoo is.
But it's still like, for a small tattoo, it's like an hour and a half.
Oh, that's not long.
Yeah, an hour and a half of constant pain. Like...
Yeah, that is
some people,
long.
like, the guy tattooing you, he's really chill about it. Like I've sat next to someone getting a tattoo. And, like, the dude is drawing, and, like, he's trying to keep a conversation, but you're just constantly getting stabbed by a tiny little needle with, like, 5 pierces a second, and...
Yeah, I have a hard time imagining what kind of pain that is, so I can't really determine it. And also, the place you get a tattoo really determines how much...
Huge difference, yeah.
Sometimes, when I'm browsing through Facebook every once in a while, I will come across that post where it's basically a chart of a human body, and in different colors are the different zones on the body scaled to how much it hurts to get a tattoo on this zone. With red being it hurts the most, and green being it doesn't hurt.
Pretty okay.
Yeah, so it's basically kind of like a rainbow, and every time I see it, and I see the places that I want to get a tattoo, and they're kind of like yellowish orange to not really red, but yellowish orange, and I'm like, holy shit.
That's mild pain. I can't deal with it.
I can't deal with mild pain.
Yeah, but even if you get it like on a strictly green zone, it's still a really big shock for the skin. And like people who have recently gotten a tattoo, like the first week after, they walk around with that area of their body constantly wrapped in like a sort of special foil.
Yeah, that's true.
The skin constantly either gets infected or starts falling off on in little layers. So you have to constantly apply creams, like special creams, so that's also something you have to spend your money on. God forbid it infects, like that's a whole nother issue, so you got to get ink
tattoos
from
are
that.
fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
Just the thought of having that under my skin is just,
So even if you get it like in the most safe space, there's constantly like this chance that it's gonna completely fuck up, and so are you.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, basically the place where I want to get a tattoo is on each one of, either one of my legs, I don't care, but it's basically from the knee downwards. I want the whole leg downwards to be, covered up with basically my own drawings, because they're pretty fucking cool.
You narcissistic fuck.
And I'm gonna be a walking commercial for myself,
Are you gonna have like an Instagram tag? Like
I'm not sure.
on the heel of your toe, @VacoDraws.
Yeah, it's
it's not a bad plan, actually. I
really thinking about it, but pretty much, yeah. No, I'm really serious about having my own drawings on my body as tattoos, because I'm not gonna shy away from my own drawings. I love how my own drawings work, and I'll look, and I don't know, it's kind of weird. I like other artists, you know. I admire other artists. I appreciate other artists, and I adore other artists as well. And I love people who draw and stuff like that. But I just wouldn't. It just wouldn't feel right having somebody else's fucking piece of art on my body whilst I am an artist, you know. At the same time, it doesn't sit right with me. There's something in my brain that it's like, wow, if you get somebody else's art, you're kind of admitting they're better. You're like admitting defeat and stuff like that. And I kind of can't. I know it's stupid because
no, it's kind of a perfect mindset. What I was gonna say is like that's really bold of you because this is like no matter what type of thing you create.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, whether it's music, whether it's drawings, any type of art, a lot of people have this really complicated relationships with the things they create. And I, for one, like I can attest to this. I have a really like backwards ass relationship with like the songs that I write. I mean, I have a absolute blast when I'm actually creating them. I'm happy with them for like a day or two after they're finished. And when I go back and listen to them like a week after, I absolutely hate every second of it. I feel really like remorseful. How was I this stupid like to think that this is good? And after that, like a month passes and I listen to it and I'm like, okay, that's good again. I really liked it, and nothing has changed about the song. So I think it's really bold of you to have this constant like appreciation for your own art and like this unwavering confidence in the things you create. Like not the thought that they're perfect, but rather the
acceptance
that they are what they are, and what they are is like meaningful. Like they have their value, even if that value isn't like
some cosmic
to the moon and back. But it has its own value and it holds it and it doesn't lose it depending on your fucking depiction of it, depending on your perception of it. Because the moment you finish creating something, it becomes its own like individual piece of the universe. It's no longer under your control, so no matter what your opinion is, you kind of don't have control over it anymore. Kind of went on a tangent there. It's a really good thought, and I'd honestly like to see it very much. Like the whole is it a sleeve if it's on your leg, like a tattoo sleeve, like a tattoo G?
It's a jort. A jort.
Yeah, I'm a pretty cool artist myself. I have a tattoo Jort.
Yeah, a Jort. Yeah, on my tattoo.
They call me Michael Jordan.
Jort. Michael Jort.
Premium, high quality comedy. Every week, mostly.
Mostly.
Most of
the time.
Okay, so we were gonna check out the answers, so...
Okay, let's go. One of the answers by Charlie says, I wouldn't care because she's old enough to pay for it herself. Depends, man. I didn't have a job at 18. I just got my first job at 20 years old, and I waited a bit, so I invested time honing my crafting skills. So
if you like have money now, would you do it like tomorrow?
Wait, what do you mean?
Like get a tattoo.
If I had the money now, would I get a tattoo tomorrow?
Yeah.
I actually do have the money right now.
So we getting you in something, buddy?
No, I'm not getting. Well, the thing is, I wouldn't mind if there weren't other stuff on the list as prioritized.
Yeah.
You know, I gotta get a new phone, stuff like that.
I just thought that you agreed with this guy's point. So yeah, like money isn't the only working factor. I mean, granted, you can get a service done to you without having the necessary funding. But like, if you can do it, doesn't mean necessarily that you should.
Yeah.
Most of the time, you probably shouldn't. I mean, I have money to go and overdose on heroin right now.
That's really
Probably.
cheap in Bulgaria.
Yeah, okay, so not pure heroin, but yeah, I can die from drugs if I want to, like in the next hour. That's a nice thought to have, damn.
Why just buy a joint for like $20 and like glue it to a gun, shoot yourself, and then you die by drugs?
Marijuana kills.
Marijuana kills. So one of the other answers is at 18 she would be old enough to make her own mistakes. Luckily, this wasn't one of them. In the grand scheme of things, this isn't fatal. I think that's a really good point. First of all, 18, it's okay, you know, you're gonna make your own mistakes. I think I would argue that even at 16 you're old enough to make your own mistakes, and I think the 16 is the age where you kind of get a taste of what mistakes feel like, and at 18 you should kind of be already, you should know by now. And at 18, when you start doing mistakes, not because that's the age where you do mistakes the most, when you start doing mistakes, you should have used those 2 years from 16 to 18 to kind of like understand that, okay, I can do mistakes, but after a while they have to either tone them down because the repercussions are severe.
They're starting to bite you in the ass.
Fucking jail exists, prison
starts being a thing.
Yeah, you know, I bit the head of a child when I was 16. I don't think I'm gonna get away with it when I'm 18.
You ain't getting detention at 20, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, you get no time out in 20. You get straight in jail.
I completely agree with the fact that 16 is kind of the perfect time to make mistakes. I really don't believe that a person starts being a person before they turn 15. Up until that point, they do ask a lot of stupid questions and just kind of exist.
A lot of stupid questions.
Yeah, but like you start to really form a personality
at around 20, by the way. No, at around
start to form.
Start to form
at 15. So before that, you're a kid. You're constantly consuming. Like you make attempts by
you're a sponge.
Yeah,
trial and error sponge.
You make attempts to make something like to socialize, to be funny, but like how are you being funny when you're small? Like you repeat the same jokes you've heard from your parents without understanding them, or like the show you watched on TV,
quoting shows,
constantly quoting. So yeah, you're a sponge and you just constantly regurgitate shit. But after like the age of 15, 16-ish, you kind of start mixing all that information with your personal beliefs and start to come up with new original shit, like which is not necessarily any good or smart or
but
decent.
It shows individuality.
Yeah, it definitely shows individuality, and that's the time when you start making mistakes. Like, what if you can do drugs, but most people just haven't figured out how to do it safely?
Yeah, that's a mistake.
That's a pretty big mistake.
Yeah.
What if alcohol is my friend, but no one knows it?
Nobody's got to know it personally.
Nobody's been drinking it right.
Nobody's asked alcohol how it's feeling.
I'm gonna master the vodka.
Yeah. But yeah, I think Jordan Peterson, you know, he actually said that around 20 years old, it's really, he was referring to brainwashing schemes during World War II and stuff like that in other countries and Nazi Germany, stuff like that. But he said that they took really young children because around the age of 20, it's really hard to change the opinion of somebody because they're pretty much already
like developed
their personality. So yeah, pretty much from what you're like, what you're in your 20s, you're probably gonna be like that for the rest of your life. It's pretty, you know, it's documented. And you know, Jordan Peterson, he's a faggot. I trust what he says.
He's gonna be a faggot for the rest of his life. But so like that makes sense to me. So it's kind of a nice thought. I think that I don't know where it's a good thought that I came across. Like,
there are no good thoughts.
You can't fundamentally change yourself. Like, you're born a certain way with a certain predisposition towards life. Like, you definitely can shape it until a certain age, but like once you're completely set in your ways, there's like 30% of yourself that you can realistically change. For example, if Jordan Peterson is a faggot, there's absolutely no way that he can alter his lifestyle in such a way that he can stop sucking dick, or even if he did, like physically stop putting penis into his mouth cavity, he wouldn't stop constantly thinking about consuming the penner.
Are you saying being gay is a choice?
What I'm saying is...
Wow, on the second episode, you couldn't just Keep your fucking agenda to yourself, man.
What I'm saying is Donald Trump should build a wall and make dead infants from Planned Parenthood pay for it all.
I'm just kidding. I'm doing dirty journalist trick. You know, I set you up. I know full well you didn't mean that, and yeah.
It was a nice thought. Like, you can only change up to 30% of yourself, and that's not a bad thing, because like 30% is a lot. Like, that's a whole aspect of your life that you have complete control over, and most people really don't get to break 5%. So it's a really optimistic thought if you kind of think about it.
Goku managed to break a lot. You know, he went Super Saiyan beyond Super Saiyan, or as you would call it, Super Saiyan 2. And this is Super Saiyan beyond Super Saiyan beyond. Stop screaming, please.
Like Super Saiyan 4.
Wow, Electric Boogaloo.
Like, no, it wasn't Super Saiyan 4, like Ultra Instinct, or like the merging.
Oh, people are gonna fucking kill you, dude. They're gonna start a lich hunt, sure.
Goku's the one that became Hokage, wasn't he?
Goku is a... I don't know who's a bigger faggot, Goku or Jordan Peterson.
Yeah, we're making some fans today with our constant hatred of Finland, Poland. What were we hating on?
Oh, Finland. I had to apologize
Finland.
to one of my...
I already did apologize to Finland, by the way.
Yeah, but I had to apologize to one of my Finland followers on Facebook, a friend of mine. I was like, oh shit, I didn't know you were from Finland. And she was like, yeah, why? And I was like, I just recorded a podcast and we kind of shadow over your country. And she's like, nah, it's okay. But it still felt pretty bad.
Okay, since we're correcting the record, like, I think it was the first episode, I thought something
We were
about...
young.
We were young and we were so, like, careless. I said some shit about, like, PewDiePie being from Finland. He's obviously from Norway.
Finland.
I don't know. He's not from Finland, I can tell you. Sweden? I think he's from Sweden. Like, Swedish? Swedish?
Not sure, honestly.
He's from someplace up north, but he's definitely not from Finland. So, like, my deepest apologies to PewDiePie?
Yeah, PewDiePie, if you ever
watch he definitely needs this, like, he's been losing sleep.
Yeah, he's been because of your fucking comments, because you just couldn't keep quiet, man. You just had to give your opinion about PewDiePie.
By the way, Mr. Kujelberg, Mr. Felix's son, we're more than willing and able to host meme reviews should you ask us. Like, I'm just putting it out there.
No,
all of our 4 subscribers go and like tweet at PewDiePie to make him host, to make us host meme review.
Honestly, I'm not up for it. I think PewDiePie does not deserve my presence on his show. We deserve his presence on our show. So I think that he should come to our show and do.
And then we can talk about maybe we doing something to him.
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds reasonable.
First, he has to give something in order to receive something. So, you know, I'm not gonna give him a free shout out just like that and boost his fucking.
He kind of needs the shout outs, so he.
I know you're thirsty, PewDiePie. I know you want those subscribe to PewDiePie comments and videos. I know you want it.
Okay. Let me level with you. You hate India, we hate Finland. Let's work something out. Like, we can get a race war going. Like, really stir up the masses. Okay, that's awful.
Honestly, but no. Jokes aside, I remember hating PewDiePie when he came up because, you know, the wars were between Tobuscus and PewDiePie, and Tobuscus had like 11 fucking channels, and you were just telling me stuff like, dude, he has 11 fucking channels because of the money, and I was so fucking defensive about it. I was like, no, he fucking cares for the fans, man. He does it for the fans. He knows he
wants to be categorized. Like,
he knows we want fucking content. We really want to see his vlogs and how he fucking drives his car and eats something, and then he decides what's cute.
He uses the funny voice. He talks in the funny voice.
And he says cute, epic, fail. Yeah.
Intro of darkness, then redness, then mediocre.
Wow. And I remember being like, wow, Tobuscus is so much more profound than PewDiePie. PewDiePie is just a fucking autistic bitch who plays, you know, Happy Wheels.
Amnesia.
Yeah, and Amnesia. Wow, grow up, please. Watch something of actual significance and value. Excuse me, play Nugget in a Biscuit song for the
10 hours straight.
10 hours straight, and not get bored and lose all my fucking brain cells to it. But yeah, I'm really happy with how PewDiePie.
He's really mature, like in his
evolved.
role.
Yeah.
He's taking his rightful place on the throne, but he's not like. He's being really graceful about it, and like I adore the fact that for the last 2 years, what he's basically doing with his career is professional shit posting. Like he could have been salty for YouTube canceling his show, for all the basically fake news that has been thrown his way.
Yeah, totally.
For all the like fabricated controversy. But what he has done is basically turn his back on all of this and just shit posted about memes. And that has worked for him absolutely swimmingly. Like he gained something like 30 million subscribers in a month just for the whole T-Series debacle. Like he's doing something right, and it's really important that he stay on the top rather than some faceless company of Indians.
And people said ignoring your problems and controversies doesn't do anything good. PewDiePie ignored him, and look at him now.
Yeah, his frog died.
What?
Yeah, Skippy's dead, man.
Who?
He had a frog, and it was called Skippy, and he
Is
fucking
the bug
died.
okay?
Yeah, the pugs. There are 2 pugs. They're okay.
The one with the missing eyes, is it okay?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I don't care about the fucking frog.
I think the frog got run over by a car or some shit. It was really funny.
Well, it's his fault for letting it,
Why don't you jump on the next question, and I'll go take a wicked piss. That sounds like a plan.
I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pause.
On the road again.
Okay.
Like a band of children, we go down the highway.
Well, that's really funny because I forgot I actually pressed pause. I thought I was just saying silent and I was skip recording, and I just said a bunch of shit in the bike about you. It's like being a faggot. So like, no, it was really funny because I was just like talking really close to the mic like this. It's like, hey Joe, I think that once you edit this, because you're gonna edit this out, I want you to know that you're a massive faggot. And
I'm leaving all of this in, you know that.
yeah, I know.
You know that,
I know. And also, Joe, I think you should go eat some fucking cereal. You massive cereal-eating faggot. But the first time I got it wrong and I said, you massive faggot-eating cereal. Shit, oh my god.
Yeah, I'll have some work on my hands.
Yeah. Also, I was like, I also said a bunch of other stuff like, God is dead, faggots killed him, Alex Jones was right, something like that. Okay, maybe you should take this out because
This is 40 minutes. We've answered like one question. Jesus Christ.
Oh, what? Jesus. Holy
Okay, so jumping right
jumping.
into the next question.
Okay, so.
Oh, okay, this is a doozy. This is like a real.
Okay, this.
A real thinker.
Okay, so who's the guy? Is it? I think it's anonymous.
Yeah, what's like the name of the main character in Animal Crossing? Because the question is about Animal Crossing, the game.
You.
It's you. Okay.
It depends on what you know, right?
So Theodore writes.
Theodore writes. H3H3's child writes. Does drawing an Animal Crossing OC make you a furry? That's a really, really good question.
Let's do some clarifying Olympics first. A, what is Animal Crossing? It's a game about leading like a life, paying off your mortgage. Like
try and double cross animals, you know. You gotta.
Yeah,
do
you
some
live in a
shady
village.
business.
You live in a village full of animals, and you can like perform little tasks for them. You can pimp out your house. Can you get married like in Animal Crossing?
I sure hope you don't.
So you're basically like a human boy living in a town that's full of animals, and like some animals move out, some animals move in. Okay, so
like that Limp Bizkit song, you know, move out to. That's the basic Animal Crossing.
That was the inspiration actually for the creation of Animal Crossing. Okay, so that was the first thing. Second, what does OC mean? Like, I'm gonna leave the artist to answer that one.
It's not really that big of an artistic question. It basically means original character. That OC.
I thought it meant original creation.
No, it means original character, but original. An original character is an original creation as well. So whatever floats your boat, man. But usually, most of the time, OC means original character.
Does drawing an Animal Crossing OC make you a furry? So does depicting yourself as an animal make you a furry?
I think that it's not about you drawing yourself as an animal that makes you a furry. I think it's the stylistic choice or the art style you choose to have while drawing yourself as an animal that makes you a furry. Because furries have been a society that, it's been around for a while, and I think the thing that really brings them all together, the thing that makes furries what they're known for, the thing that gets furries the biggest hate and also the biggest love and stuff like that, is that one particular art style. And
like with the big eyes, the expressive human-like face, is that what we're going for?
Yeah, it's basically one art style. It's just all of the furry art. It's basically one type of art style in terms of facial features, anatomy, and stuff like that. It's just on a different level. The only thing that differentiates the furry artists is their skill levels and pretty much things like colors and the way they choose to color stuff, the way they choose to do the line art and stuff like that. But
like
style,
shading and stuff.
Yeah, but stylistically, in terms of face and stuff like that, it's just one art style, maybe slight variations here and there. And there are some amazing drawings like that where I see them and I'm like, wow, this is some furry trash right here, but this is done really good. The person that drew this has a lot of skill, he has put a lot of time into doing this, and a lot of patience and stuff like that, and I respect that. I don't care if it's furry art, it's good. Even if it's the most vulgar fucking shit, the most hardcore furry porn, if it's drawn good, I can appreciate it because I see
it's a form of art, even if it's like.
No, I just see. It's because I'm able to see
because
beyond the porn.
Drawing is a craft, and what is basically on display is a mastery of that craft, even if it's used to depict like a buffalo fucking another buffalo.
Yeah, basically. So, I think that Animal Crossing has a really cute, stylized art style for the game. It kind of differentiates a lot from what furries are usually known for. And I think that you drawing yourself in the style of Animal Crossing is... I don't think it makes you a furry if you look at, the bare core of what makes you a furry is, drawing yourself as an animal, is an anthropomorphic animal. That makes you a furry, an animal that has human parts and animal parts at the same time, that makes you a fucking furry.
Yeah.
But I think that Animal Crossing kind of manages to avoid that category because of the way the art is the art is stylized.
Well, there are two ways at looking at the phrase Animal Crossing OC. Like, one is what you said, just depicting yourself as a character in Animal Crossing, but like adopting the Animal Crossing art style. Yeah. So basically the like little cutesy models, and just like putting your face on a dog or like a moose. I don't know what Animal Crossing characters look like, but there's really a second way to look at it, and that's like, okay, taking, for example, a character from Animal Crossing, putting it in the, like what you said, the classical furry art style, and then like slightly altering it to a point where you can consider it like an original creation. For example, I make a furry version of Isabel.
Okay.
Like that's 2 meters tall, has like 9 sets of boobs, 3 vaginas, and like really hairy legs.
I didn't want to hear that, but okay.
And I like basically do everything that's like her characteristic look, but I make her fur pink. And I'm like, this is my original creation. This is Isabel's cousin, Jezebel, and she's my OC. Where does that stand on like the artistic moral compass?
No, that's straight up like
furry smut.
Furry, and not only is it furry, it's something that I would refer to as furry scum, because it's basically just you're not being really original. You're kind of
plagiarizing.
You're kind of plagiarizing the already existing, character, Isabella. And kudos to you that you can manage to draw 9 pair of tits and 3 vaginas and make them, hopefully make them look okay, even if they're totally incorrect and stuff like that. If you can manage to make them look okay, kudos to you. But in the end, you're still considered like furry scum, and I think that's a thing that a lot of furry artists don't understand, and they should fucking start understanding that shit because I mean, have some self-respect, It's just, there are artists out there actually fucking trying. Please, just do us a favor and, put in an effort.
They're like really talented artists that aren't furries and like aren't fans of the furry community, but they have like premium Patreons and they draw a lot of furry commissions because like the community is really active. A lot of surprisingly like highly paid lucrative jobs have people in the furry community in them. So like there's a lot of money going around there, and you have like this subsection of artists that even though they don't like the, God, I hate calling it a movement, but they really don't like the movement, but like they can profit from it and they can have some extra financial stability, so they wind up doing something that they don't necessarily want to do in exchange of like a lot of fucking money. So where do you stand on that? Like, would you ever consider doing something like that?
No, I have done something like that, and that's the thing. Furries are not bad people; they're great people most of the time. But like every group of individuals, there's always like the bad fucking.
There's always the bad. It's most of the time it's like a vocal minority, like people with really extreme views, just constantly spewing them everywhere.
Yeah, it's kind of like imagine you being an alien and you just visit Earth and you just so happen to stumble upon a crazy shit-eating homeless person and be like, and that's your like first contact with humans, and you're like, wow, all of humans fucking suck.
This is the standard, yeah.
Yeah, that's what people do, and that's not right. I agree. The nasty fucking furries that are usually the most vocal, yeah, they're disgusting. They are beyond redemption, honestly. But
harsh.
But mostly from my experience, drawing for clients and just having friends in general that are furries, they're pretty cool people. Honestly, people just like you and me, and if you don't ask about it, you probably would never know that they dress up in those giant costumes and go to conventions, because they would never tell you, because they know that you don't care about that, and they don't kind of waste your time with that, because
they have nothing to gain from it either. Like if you have nothing to contribute to that part of their life, you're kind of
Yeah, but the thing
you're
is
as
that
useless to them as they are to you.
yeah, but the thing is they keep to themselves and they don't try to fucking convert you to being a furry or some shit like that. It's not like some constant like, hey man, you ever find normal vaginas boring? How about you spice things up?
Wouldn't you want it on a snake?
Yeah.
Consider a vagina snake.
Yeah.
I get that.
Basically, so kind of like props to them for not trying to bring me into their fandom. Yeah, that's the thing about furries. They're kind of really understand and accept the fact that becoming a furry is something that happens naturally and on your own. There's nobody that's kind of like, hey kid, you want to become a fucking you want to fuck a dog?
Are you saying you're born a furry?
No, honestly, no. I don't think you are. I think your opinion about furries and stuff like that and anthropomorphic animals is totally created by socials, online social media and stuff like that, and drawings and DeviantArt and stuff.
It's like a form of brainwashing, is what you're saying. Like
No.
being subjected to that much media, kind of like.
No. I think it showcases you that there are options in life, and it kind of leaves the door open. And if you're really curious,
Like the kinkier kind, just kind of naturally drift towards.
Yeah, it's kind of like
fucking dogs.
Honestly,
shit.
It sounds ironic, but it's kind of like a sly fox, passing you by and just giving you a gentle brush with its tail on your chin, and you have the choice to follow it because you're curious what it has to offer, or you can just walk away. But
you never know.
Honestly, I think I almost became a furry, and still there are some exceptions to like anthropomorphic characters that I would totally fuck the brains out of, and one of them I discovered it at a really young age. We went to Blockbuster, not actual Blockbuster, but in Bulgaria we also had Blockbuster-ish type of stores.
Like video rentals.
Yeah, video rentals, exactly. So we went to a video rental and we bought, we rented Space Jam. And I gotta say, dude, Lola Bunny is like one of the hottest pieces of
tail,
drawing,
literally pieces of tail, drawing, whatever, ever animated. It's like, I had a crush on her, and she really was like, they made her intentionally fucking sexy in that movie. She was modeled after like a really popular actress at the time.
Who? What?
God damn it! I have to double check this.
Pamela Anderson?
No, I'm gonna say Kim Basinger, but it's probably not Kim Basinger. Like a blonde with the real buffy lips. It's not Pamela Anderson. It's someone else. But she was definitely like made that way on purpose, like completely intentionally. She was supposed to be like because it was made in the 90s, it was supposed to be like the strong independent woman who didn't like to be like
bossed
stereotyped.
Yeah. She wanted to prove that she could play basketball with the greats,
which ironically made her into a walking stereotype, like the strong independent woman. Don't call me like Bunny. She had a pet peeve about one of the words, but she was intentionally made to be a fine, prime piece of ass.
Yeah, I was so confused as a child because I knew that she was like sexy, dude, and I was kind of like, why isn't Michael Jordan
trying to tap?
Yeah, why isn't Michael Jordan trying to get into that rabbit fucking pussy? But
he probably crushed her internal organs. Like, isn't she like a meter tall?
Well, it depends if his dick extends the same way his arm extended in the fucking farm.
Oh, God.
That was, even when I was younger, I didn't understand that. It was so stupid, dude. It's like, how did his arm stretch out? It looked horrible. I remember it. I was just like looking at it and being like, this is disgusting. This hurts my arm. That's really sad because I think that Space Jam looks pretty nice. I think they did a really good
walking, talking product placement. It was a pretty entertaining movie.
We kept it for 2 weeks, the movie, and when I watched it every day, 2 times for 2 weeks, and when it was time to bring it back, I started crying. I was bawling my eyes out. I cried more when I had to return Space Jam to the rental store than I cried when my grandma passed away. And when I cried, my mom was like, "Oh, okay, Jesus Christ, we're gonna keep it for another 2 weeks." And I watched it for another 2 weeks, twice a day. That's how much I fucking love
Kids
that
are
movie.
really weird that way.
Yeah, dude,
because I did it too, like with a lot of movies. We had like a lot of pirated DVDs, and I would like learn it by heart. I could recite like the script of a 2-hour animated movie.
Yeah, that's what we did in school.
Yeah, didn't we?
Yeah, I was talking to this about this to my girlfriend and I. Our thing that we used to do when we were really young, like 2nd or 3rd grade, is during the recesses, like we wouldn't even go out to eat that much. What we would do, for some reason, we don't know why, but at least I don't know why. If you can tell me a reason, that would be great. But what we did is basically the first Ice Age movie. We would just, divide characters, who's gonna play who, and we did the entire movie from start to finish, every recess. And sometimes recess wasn't long enough so we could do the entire movie, so we would have to stop, remember where we stopped, go through class again, class ends, recess again, we continue on with the movie. And that's what we did, like days and days. It's just
fucking impressive as shit.
Yeah, it's actually
when did we
really
lose that fucking uncanny ability? Like,
yeah,
I can learn like 2 pages of a really simple textbook, but yeah, I remember vividly like being able to recite seasons of The Simpsons, like just going to bed and I don't feel like sleeping. It's okay, I can just watch this in my head.
Yeah.
Like, I know the opening shot, I know each line when it follows. And here's the thing, I still watched like every episode with utter childish delight.
What happened,
why do
man?
we lose this ability? Damn.
Yeah, I'm really curious. After I remember, the fact that we would cite the entire Ice Age movie, I was kind of really curious if I try to remember the entire Ice Age movie, because I remember we did it word for word, not missing a fucking beat, and I'm really curious, can I do this right now? Am I dumber?
You probably have to start the whole process over again, is what I would venture to guess. But like, okay, it kind of yeah, I need to drink a bit of water. It kind of serves to prove our point, really, that at a really young age, you're basically a walking, talking, eating, shitting sponge, and every little bit of information you that gets thrown your way, you like consume until the last drop. And it's kind of stupid for us to do that. We wasted this gift on like learning movies by heart, because imagine like if we had spent that time reading, I don't know, literature or
big deal,
some math ass problems shit to do with our hands.
Okay, but here's the other thing. I fucking love Ice Age, and I think the reason that we managed to learn the entire script of Ice Age, the first movie, is I simply don't think we had anything better to care for at that time. Like, do you remember anything more eventful in your life? Did you care for anything that much back then to be like, oh, remembering to the entire Ice Age script is a waste of time. I should focus on more important stuff. I didn't have that back then. I was like, wow, this is cool. I want to do this because I like the movie, and this is how I show my love for the movie. And I didn't have anything else going on for me.
That's basically your whole world, kind of.
Yeah, that's weird, dude.
No, I had I had like this big crush on one of the characters, not in Ice Age.
Wow, you want to fuck a mammoth?
Goddamn, a mammoth voiced by Ray Romano is like one of my top fetishes.
Well, by the way, you gotta admit that there was this scene where Sid, the sloth, he was hanging out with some pretty sexy sloths. in a bath.
Wasn't this in the second movie? Like
No, it was in the first one. He was telling them about the baby. He brought the baby, and they were like, "Wow, it's a man with a baby." And one of them, they had cleavages, which was really fucking funny because
they had like furry boobs.
Yeah, they have furry boobs.
They didn't really cover them. They just had like 2 bumps on their hairy chest, like no nipples going on, no lactation, just.
And I remember,
that
and I
was
thought,
weird.
even I thought they were like pretty. Wow, this is.
It was a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, this got me feeling some kind of way.
Oh Jesus.
Oh, by the way.
So yeah, I spent quite a bit of time on my crush, on my TV crush too, so I couldn't spend all of it on Ice Age. God damn, we were really like taking our sweet time on these questions. So basically, we're gonna get through like 3 or 4.
No, I don't think we can get to 3 or 4. I think that we're just go along as it is, and we're gonna leave the rest for next time, for the next episode.
Why don't we do like one more and then try our hands with the word generator, see where that takes us, and like call it a night. I think it's a pretty tight episode so far, like one of the more chilled out ones.
Fuck the word generator. I don't like the word generator. It's too vague, man. It's too vague.
It doesn't like you either. God damn.
Word generator is garbage.
Fucking ass.
Okay, so this question is way too big. By the way, for the people wondering what question I'm talking about, the question is basically, what is the best game of all time? But I think that we should discuss this when we're 4 people, because we have more opinions, and we're gonna basically beat the shit out of each other if somebody shits on somebody else's game. So
gonna be some screaming.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about some fighting techniques, like
pregnancy and parenting. You didn't expect that in fighting techniques, but okay. Basically, the question is, Joe, do you want to have the pleasure of reading this?
I would absolutely love it. Like, I picture a really heated argument between a woman and her toddler. And
toddler?
Do
you want to say fucking child and toddler? You made it toddler. The guy from Friends, Chandler.
Oh god damn it! I didn't even get to talk about my audition. Holy.
Next time, man.
Yeah, next time we're gonna hear the story about Joe's absolutely fucked up failure of an audition. Like my very first legit audition, it was for a sitcom, and I completely botched it. So stay tuned for that. Okay, so like a really heated argument, and like mid-fight, the mom starts typing out, "My 11-year-old attacked me when I tried to take her phone as punishment. She called me a cunt, so I slapped her across the face. Help?"
Face help? By the way, we're not sure what the word is.
Yeah, I kind of had to improvise. It's like a 5-star word.
Yeah, it's a 5-star word.
C-U-N-T. Okay, cunt doesn't work. Cunty. She called me cunty.
She called you.
Mother, you're quite the cunty today.
Wow.
God damn it, Theodore, don't talk to me like that. We have standards in this household.
Jesus.
Okay, no, but seriously.
Poor kid, dude. We kind of...
Poor Teddy. Yeah, we love you. We love you.
That's really bad. I mean, imagine if we get big one day and we actually get to be friends with H3H3 or be on his podcast, and he's like, So you called my kid a toddler? What's that about? Yeah, what's that about?
Yeah, I think he'd have a pretty good sense of humor about it. Ela, I think, would give us the stink eye, though. I think she'd just go, like, look at us really mean and say, "Oh,
come on, you fucking..."
Okay, I couldn't resist.
What a fucking asshole. Rice gum wannabe fucking...
I love both of them. Like, they're one of the cutest couples on YouTube. Like, really, from the bottom of my heart.
Shut the fuck up, dude. Jesus. Leave Ela alone. She's wonderful. She's fucking perfect.
She's fucking glowing right now. Like, she's 5 months, 6 months pregnant. It's really starting to show, and like, she's gonna be a fine mother of little Teddy. Back to the topic at hand. So a mother fucking slapped out her.
Could you imagine if like Ela was your mom? It's like she was in the military. She's a military chick.
She could fucking dissect you with a butter knife.
I wouldn't fucking dare. You know, this child right here, the one that, you tried to take her phone and she called you a fucking bitch. Oh yeah, I think that is a bitch.
bitch. Yeah, it's a bitch.
Yeah, it's bitch. Can you imagine if that was little Theodore? He would never, dude.
He would.
Yeah,
They
Ela-
wouldn't find the body, man.
Yeah, Ela would just look at him, and she's gonna transfer her like Vietnam flashback straight to little Theodore's head, and he's gonna be like, "I'm not fucking with that."
Her Israeli Vietnam flashback. You know, it's kind of interesting that you asked, like, what if Ela was my mother? Because I started thinking about it, and like, my mom is exactly the opposite of Ela Klein. Like, she constantly yells like it's the. We really tend to have most of our conversation through 2 or 3 walls. Like, we're constantly screaming at each other. But she's like the most fucking calm and loving woman I've met in my entire life.
Why does she yell?
Because that's kind of her thing.
She
Yeah, she's
doesn't-
constantly.
She isn't aware that she's yelling. She just.
No, but
talks
if she
loud.
wants something from me, like, she wouldn't go to the other room to ask me. Like, you want chicken?
Okay, I
You want some chicken?
Yeah.
Yeah, I tend to forget it's like 3 a.m. here.
People
But
are
yeah,
sleeping.
she doesn't have any military training, or like she wouldn't even dare to raise a hand at me. Like, she slapped me once in my entire life, and I remember her apologizing profusely like 3 days after.
Wow.
She's like the sweetest fucking thing. I love my mom. Almost as much as I hate Finland. Buy our merch. I'm gonna have it on a shirt like "fuck Finland" with a
Fuck
big
Finland.
X on the Finnish
Yeah.
flag.
But
So
my 11-year-old attacked me when I tried to take her phone. As punishment, she called me a bitch, so I slapped her across the face. Help. Well, first of all, like, that help is so weirdly placed in the end. Like, help you with what? Like, fight your fucking child? Are you losing the battle or
Yeah,
some shit
one
like
of
that?
one of the top answers are, "What's your question?"
What's your question? Yeah.
I see
Literally.
no query
Yeah,
here.
it's like, help? What do you want me to do? You
So I
want me to
slapped
throw
her. Help?
hands?
Do you want me to slap her too? Like,
Yeah, Jesus.
send me an address, man. I'll fuck her up.
I can't throw hands at a child, dude. It's like, you should be pretty fucking able to win this battle. You do not need my help to. I mean, come on.
How many toddlers could you take at once? Like, could you, like, not kill, but like disarm? Knock unconscious. How many toddlers? Like, let's say
Well, that's
4 to
really-
6-year-olds.
Actually, really. First of all, toddler is not 4 to 6. Toddler is like 1 to 3.
Isn't that like an infant? I think infant is like birth to like a year and a half, and after that, like up to 6 years, it's a toddler.
Yeah, because toddlers and tiaras.
Yeah, that one. Okay.
Fucking honey boo, do you remember that shit?
Oh, you couldn't take on Honey Boo Boo. She'd fuck you up.
I will destroy her fucking face. I'll smash it in the ground. Piss on her.
So yeah, how many
So,
4 to 6-year-olds at once?
Well,
You've been working out, like.
But that's a really specific question because you specifically told me not kill, but kind of knock unconscious, which is kind of like
you can if you want to. If you feel obliged, like, go ahead and kill. But it's not like necessary to do it.
okay, because it's kind of really tricky. How do I knock somebody out if like I can't control my shit? You know, I'm gonna hit you with all I've got, and if you decide you're gonna get knocked out instead of dying,
If you decide to
yeah,
die, like, that's your opinion.
that's your opinion. You know, I can't. I can't tell you shit.
People are surprisingly sturdy. Like, you can hit a baby's head against the wall
Yeah,
accidentally.
when was the last time you hit a fucking 6-year-old and you were surprised by him being sturdy? It's like, come on.
Well, okay.
Share with us. When was the last time you got in a conflict with a fucking toddler?
I've never punched out a toddler. Is the first-
Really? You seem to know a
But-
lot about toddlers.
Yeah,
For a person
I've-
who's never punched a toddler in their lives.
I've bear
Go on.
witness to a lot of like accidents. Like, for example, an active swing, a metal swing, completely knocking a toddler's head around, and like it had a bump on his head. Like, he cried a fuck ton, but he didn't bleed. He didn't have anything broken.
You can walk it off.
Yeah, basically, people are sturdy as fuck. Like, there are people who drop 5 stories and they end up retarded, but they survive.
But is it really a survival?
God
if you
damn
end
it!
up
Okay, we're talking
retarded?
about children here. Let's not go to such a dark place. But like, yeah, people are sturdy. So if you, where were we going with this? if you slap your fucking if you slap your toddler across the face, it's nothing serious unless you use a backhand and you like kind of twist her neck.
Yeah, and print your knuckles in her face. It's like
yeah, like the one time my mom slapped me, I had like 4 fingers fucking right beneath my eye.
Wow.
It was fucking metal.
There's nothing like a mother's touch, but
and it was like over something real stupid too. I didn't want to blow my nose. That was the thing. I had like a real runny nose and I couldn't be fucked to blow it. And she tried to blow it for me. And I kind of didn't want to. And I spit on her.
Wow.
And she fucking slapped my shit.
Wow.
Like I didn't like. But like I was crying and I was yelling and I just kind of went for it.
Wow. I'm kind of surprised she didn't kill you then and there, as I would have.
She got pretty close, man. It was like white hot pain.
I would have jabbed my thumbs in your eyes. You know, make you have a reason to spit.
I would have broken your fucking teeth. You're gonna grow new ones anyway.
Yeah.
You're a fucking toddler.
You fucking chowder.
You
Well, I
chod.
just want to read one of the answers. She's just acting her. You know, it's by Leah. It was posted 25 minutes ago. She's acting her age. I would have gotten extremely upset if my phone was about to be taken away, considering it's my source of communication. But you should never have slapped her. She most likely did not mean what she said and was just in the heat of the moment, but you'll always remember that slap. Maybe start giving her warnings that you will take her phone. If you haven't already, if she does whatever she did again, and maybe her behavior will improve if her phone is at stake.
Hey Leah, you're kind of a cunt.
Why?
What are you gonna do? Slap my shit or give me a warning?
Well,
I really don't like people trying to be the mediator in the situation. Like, there's obviously merit to both sides here, but like, what she's doing is absolutely useless. She's just wasted like 20 seconds of our time reading this and 1 minute and counting discussing it. She's basically saying nothing, just trying to be this kind of mediating force that winds up actually making the problem worse.
But why though? I think she has a point. I think it's a.
In what
good
way does she
answer.
have a point? She really, literally said nothing new, added nothing new as information to the whole discussion.
Yeah, well, at the same time, it's not as if the question or whatever it is statement, you know, that has been posted by the original, you know, poster. It's not like it's a really genius question or some shit like that.
It's not even
probably
technically a question. It just has a question mark at the
It's
end.
probably from some kind of like an inexperienced mother who kind of like thinks she gets it, but she doesn't get it totally. So what's wrong with Leah trying to provide some, you know, yes, I agree, generic knowledge that probably everybody knows, but you'd be surprised how many people don't actually know this shit.
Yeah, you have to love thy neighbor, eat your vegetables, brush your teeth, cheat on your wife, keep good track of your credit cards. Stop me whenever you feel like it. I mean, I'm obviously spilling wisdom, life wisdom here.
Well, apparently,
walk your dog if you have one.
well,
if you don't walk
smartass.
it.
Well, Opie doesn't fucking understand that because she slapped her fucking child. So what's her defense then? Okay, so I thought if you know that beating your kids is bad and everybody knows that, why did she fucking do it?
Always drink your water.
No, like I want to hear an explanation.
of
No, I
fluids.
want to hear an explanation. If it's so well known that beating your children is bad, then why did this bitch end up in a situation like this?
Okay, like, she obviously knows it's a bad thing to hit your child. Like, the panicked way this fucking question is phrased, like, okay, look, she tries to redeem herself, like, she tries to explain herself, at the start of the sentence, like, I tried to take her phone away, she called me a bitch, like, it's not my fault that I slapped her, she provoked me, so, please, I slapped her across the face, help, like, she knows she's fucked up. So she like inherently knows what she did was wrong.
So what are you saying? Is this like some actual?
I'm saying
pride
this
or-
doesn't deserve to be on the fucking platform for questions because it's not a question.
No, it's
I'm
it's
also-
like a recruitment form. It's like we need strong warriors.
I just punched my child. Come join me.
Yeah, come join me.
The war has started. Tonight we battle.
Tonight we fight.
It's
Well,
alright.
It's alright.
Don't have a fright.
Don't have a friend.
My pussy's tight.
Unlike my child, such a delight.
She's not very bright.
She's not very bright. Also, there's another like from the person called Laughter Every Day. He answers, "Help is not a question." Well, laughter every day.
Very positive. Like, good on you.
Uh,
Millennials shouldn't be allowed to have children. Goddamn. Harsh.
wow.
Harsh. Okay, like, can we end on a more, like, positive note? Like, something a bit more lighthearted? Because I really don't feel this episode ending on beating kids. Beating kids and slapping bids on the poker table. Because we're just playing to
Okay.
win.
Okay, so you wanted to end on a positive note. I think Anonymous has the best fucking positive answer to this question.
Yeah, go and read it. Like,
Anonymous says, "You should have impaled her with a pitchfork and said, 'How do you like that, you little shit? Now shut up before I tear out your liver.'" Well, how's that for being positive, huh?
Okay, so she called her a bitch, and she responded in kind with a pitchfork. Okay, so you have a little give and take going on. That's communication. That's growth. I'm really not liking this question.
Yeah, me neither. But I sure hope that this lady
Dies
no,
painfully.
I hope this lady manages to sort out everything that she has to sort out with her child, and in the end the child prevails by receiving its phone. Do you know why? So it can search for this podcast and watch it.
By the way, if you don't like the way YouTube mutes everything when you lock your phone, you can listen to us on SoundCloud. And if you are listening to us on SoundCloud, if you'd like to check out some beautiful artwork while you're listening to our podcast, be sure to check us out on youtube.com/oursourhour podcast show. Our Sour Hour. We're here
To sour,
your peanut butter.
I was gonna say power.
Yeah, okay, that's awesome. Fine. So,
Okay.
okay, let's get some closing words. Like, would you like to promote anything? Like, okay, you obviously can't say the name of the game that you're working on, but
What I thought we ended.
no, we did not. You can like go to Nataku and check out one of their most popular games. It's one of the most popular games. I don't feel like I can just say anything else.
Me either, dude. I'm like I said, this was my first job, so I'm not really familiar with how it works. My contract said some shit, but who reads their fucking contract?
Oh, okay, so stay tuned. Maybe next week we have some more information. Or
By the way, if I'm not here next week, that means I'm in court. I'm fighting for my freedom, and if not, I will be visiting 6ix9ine, Takashi 6ix9ine, pretty darn soon.
and if you'd like to help donate to our Patreon at
What?
our Sour Patreon podcast show. No, we don't have a Patreon, but we can set one up like real easy. Okay, so go to Instagram.com/VakoDraws to check out his beautiful artwork. Like he posts like at least once every 3 days, like in the least.
Depends on how work and schedule.
He's a pretty frequent poster if he's not working on commissions or not busy with work, so you're almost guaranteed like a really nice
quality
stream
content.
of quality
If this
content.
podcast wasn't enough, it's just quality.
And it's all free, but if you want it to not be free, I'm pretty sure he has some open commission slots which you can commission with your hard-earned cash.
For a second time, we said this in the last podcast, but no, my commissions are closed. I don't have time for commissions right now.
fucking damn. Or if you're more interested in music, why don't you go to youtube.com/Vasíl Papa Noir. That's PAPANOIR.
Links in description, guys.
Links in description. I haven't really uploaded anything in recent times, but I can say that I'm working on 3 separate projects, all of which should be coming out by the end of June at the latest. So we're gonna space them out. I think one of them is going to be ready in late March, so stay tuned for that. And in keeping with our podcast tradition, what we're gonna do is leave you with the following words.
Yeah, fuck you guys.